But let's move into the final topic. It is a topic that everybody loves here on the Fast Break podcast. It is a stay true and pride. What's the saying? It's a mainstay here on the Fast Break podcast. It's best fits for X team in the 2019 NBA draft. One that Lady Boy Lover absolutely loves. He always says, wow, great original topic, guys. And we want to thank you, Lady Boy Lover. We are talking about the best fits for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Currently, they are tied with the Chicago Bulls for best odds. They are 8-25 as of recording this on a 2-game losing streak, 3-7 in their last 10. They are tied with the Bulls for top odds for the number 1 overall pick. So let's talk about them. We'll talk about if they have the number 1 overall pick, if they have the number 3 overall pick, and the number 5 overall pick. Let's get it out of the way. How does Zion Williamson fit with the Cleveland Cavaliers?
I mean, I think he fits with any team. Any of these top teams, it's easy. He fits. And it's like he can run the floor. He can throw down dunks. It's like any team, Bulls, Suns, Cavs, Hawks, can find a fit for him some way or another. It's like it's not that hard. It's not rocket science. So we don't have to talk about him, Sean.
There we go. I mean,
you can just wrap that segment up then. You got Zion going to the Cavs.
I'm so sick of talking about him. Is there any way that if they get the number 1 overall pick, they're not going with him?
No, they go with Zion.
Anyone have a differing opinion?
No. Number 1 pick is Zion. You can wrap it up right now. Like there's the stupid thing is like he doesn't have a complete game. He can't shoot from like mid range. His outside shot's inconsistent. The problem is that he's just a freak in nature athletically. Even at the fact he's like 6'6", 6'7", like it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. And oh my god, offensively he's limited, but he still gets to the hoop. Defensively, he's a monster. And
the one thing too I loved, we saw it in the Texas Tech game, 9-10 from the free throw line. Like that's awesome. Get to the line, kid.
He's got consistency.
I mean, no one's gonna get following you because they want to get out of your way. Because they'll be on a poster or a highlight reel. But
did you see what they were doing to him when he's driving in the lane? They're starting to take offensive charges from him and selling a little bit. Guys are as he bulldozes away to the lane, they're just bouncing like
that's gonna
like they're full on flopping,
and that's gonna cause him just to start taking step backs.
Yeah,
start pulling.
He might have to adjust his game a little bit because like I was watching, I forget which show it was. It was one of the ESPN Talking Heads ones, and they were talking about how every time he goes right, like he has a real bad tendency, like with his left hand, he can't shoot very well with it. And it's just like, it's always a dump off if you force him to go left. Otherwise, he's spinning back to his right in the post. So I think it's kind of interesting, like as the season goes on and hopefully as we get closer to tourney time, like when teams actually start to, see what they want to play and matchup wise, like how you want to play against this guy, like if that can be abused. Because I know like Bagley was the guy, like last year's class was like, wow, he literally can be shut down by preventing him from going one direction.
Yeah.
Like, so I think.
But he's still been good.
Yeah, and that's the stupid thing. Like, he's such an athlete that it doesn't matter. I think that Zion's similar nature, but better passer. So.
And definitely much more of a freak of nature.
Oh, my God, yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how him and, Colin Sexton work together. But I don't think I really love that pairing.
Not really.
But that's going to be very athletic. And that's for damn sure.
Just get 5 wings out there. Screw it.
But let's get into at least the next part of it and which one best fits for them. R.J. Barrett, Nasir Little, Cam Reddish. That's the top 3 outside of Zion, according to ESPN. I would rank it R.J., Cam, Nasir. I'm not too high on Nasir, as people know from our last NBA mock draft. But how would you guys rank that, at least fit-wise, for the Cleveland Cavaliers? And which player do you like best? And why?
I'm kind of leaning a little bit. Like, at first I was like, oh, who did I have them go in the mock draft? And I had R.J. Barrett. But then I'm thinking the only reason I had them at that time was they were 3. I almost want to say Cam Reddish would be a better pick for them based off of who they selected last year. Because you got Colin Sexton. He's a ball-dominant point guard to where if I added R.J. Barrett, would I be adding kind of, not to take a wizardism and bring it into this, but would I be adding like almost 2 alphas to it? 2 ball-dominant guys in my backcourt to where it might be hard to make that work, where Cam Reddish can be more of a guy that can play off-ball to Colin Sexton and can bring an outside shot as well. And as if then I can work with the kind of drive and dish where it's like, hey, Colin Sexton can drive. If Reddish is out there open for a 3, we can dish it and make a 3 from Cam Reddish.
Dave?
I like Cam Reddish fit there, but I just think that fuck pick. You're at the top of the draft. Take talent. Like RJ is better than Cam Reddish. And obviously, yes, he does need the ball in his hands a bit more. We just saw his offensive struggles this past week against Texas Tech, but I think that he is a solid shooter, and the shot's only going to get better with time. Like he's just kind of volume, and right now the offense is basically through him for the majority of it. Like obviously Trey, when ball in his hands, he's a phenomenal passer, facilitator, but I would love to see RJ Barrett on a team with Colin Sexton to see what they can do together, because I think they put teams into a really bad position when it comes to high screens and pick and rolls, because it's a lose-lose situation for the other team.
RJ really had a Sean Anderson game against Texas Tech. I mean, 16 points, 7-15. You look at that, at least from the field, and you're like, or 17-22. 7-15 from 2-point, and you're like, damn, that's pretty good. Must have had a good game. And then you look at the 7-22, and you're like, oh shit, he missed all 7 threes.
He missed all.
And he's missed the past 10 that he's taken.
Yeah.
And the past 2 games against Princeton, Texas Tech, 21.5 points per game, and then 54% from 2, and then he's just 0 for 10 from 3. It's something that is concerning, but also guys are going to have struggles. But I think that, again, I agree with Dave here. You need to go with talent. And RJ can be a number one, argument. And I don't know if Colin can be exactly.
I hate that argument for the Duke guys, because I feel like these 3... Do you think
that they're all 3 equal talent?
I feel like at the beginning of the year, I said it, that the 3 Duke guys, you could make a case for number 1 picks for all 3 of them. We're just going to be splitting hairs. As the season has gone on, what I have seen is Zion has kind of, maybe you can just say it's his hype, has solidified in most mind as the clear number 1. And the other 2 behind it, I think it's splitting hairs. Like we even had, I can't remember his name, I can look it up, but we had a commenter last week that's like, Cam Reddish is going to be the steal of this draft. And I feel like in most people's minds, they go, oh, Zion, RJ, and Cam. But to me, it's splitting hairs between Cam and RJ.
It wasn't even like that before. Coming into the year, it was RJ, Zion.
Yeah. And then now what it is now, I feel like between Cam and RJ, it's splitting hairs to whichever, what do you like better is where you're going to put Cam or RJ, but either or could be the second one behind Zion.
Well, I think the thing is with this whole thing between RJ and Cam is a lot of people just will assume if you have a point guard, you're taking Cam Reddish. If you don't, you're taking RJ Barrett. I don't buy into that, at least for the Cleveland Cavaliers, because I don't think you have a true point guard in Colin Sexton. You have a very good scorer who is small. That's about it. He's not a guy that's passing a ton. He's not a guy that's going to be, I think, ever at a Chris Paul level of passing or distributing. I don't think he's ever going to be that type of player. I think maybe he can be similar to like an Isaiah Thomas. Maybe not 29 points per game, but at least a player that is fitting the mold of a guard, but is strictly a scorer at that position. And RJ, I think he does have that potential to develop into a point forward. I don't think it's exactly there yet. I don't think he exactly has that mindset yet. And maybe having another scorer like Colin Sexton will help. And Colin Sexton also being efficient from 3 so far, at least since November 7th, shooting 41.5% from 3. Maybe that helps it a little bit, become a point forward a little bit easier. But I think that RJ, in my mind, is more talented than Cam Reddish. He might be a harder fit, but he is more talented, and that's why I think he is. I don't think it's really splitting hairs with talent. And some people disagree. I know Jake, our patron, said, very similar to what the commenter said, that Cam Reddish is going to be the steal of the draft. That's why we did that topic. Yeah. I just don't buy into the fact that he's not. I don't buy into the fact that he's more talented than RJ Barrett.
I'm afraid that he's going to be like Otto Porter. Like
you're saying, Cam Reddish is going to be like Otto Porter.
Yeah, he has all the tools. He could, his stroke from the outside could be solid. Just the consistency's not there. The confidence in taking volume shots, even when I'd love to see Otto take more shots, he just doesn't. You can't force the ball into that man's hands hard enough for him to take more shots. So that's my concern. Is if Cam, people are talking because of his build, because of his size, his athleticism. He's got the potential to be in the T-Mac range of physicals, but my concern is from a confidence, from a mentality standpoint, he's going to be in the Otto Porter area more likely, which is still not bad. It's just when I'm looking at the top
it's
of the
only
draft,
bad when you give him $27 million.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I'm honestly, John Moran.
Really?
Ja Morant to this team.
Why is that?
If you're talking top 3. Like
I'm talking top 3.
Okay.
Let me do this.
Yeah.
Let me do this. R.J. Barrett, Nasir Little, Cam Reddish, Bol Bol, Ja Morant. You have 5 players to pick from. They're all available. Give me the ranking of which players you would want. So again, Ja Morant, Bol Bol, and then the 3 that I said, R.J., Cam, and Nasir. All right? So you're talking about Ja Morant. Why Ja Morant? At least talk us into it before Ricky and I give our rankings.
Sure. I think Ja Morant, excellent size for the NBA. To me, he has that superstar potential. He has the it factor because he can do everything. He can rebound, he can assist, he can score, and good Lord, can he score. I just look forward to, yes, the matchup with him and Colin Sexton together on the court at the same time might not be ideal, but I'm at the top of the draft. I'm taking the guy with the highest upside, and he's been able to produce, obviously, at a much smaller school, but produce nonetheless. And that's the thing I look at is I go, okay, if I want the ball in one guy's hands in this draft, it's his. Like 100%. Like Zion's a freak of nature, don't get me wrong, but Ja has like that next level, like either somewhere between, Russell Westbrook, people are comping him to, old Derrick Rose. Hell, I've heard some people even say like AI. Like he can do it all. And I think that if you put him on a Cleveland team, like he can be that guy to lead them back to like, there's a bright spot for their team. Because like Kevin Love, like you said, he's older. He's still the best player, injury prone, but he's a guy who can take over a game. No doubt in my mind. And he will make it work with whatever talent's around him because he's not used to playing with talent.
Here's the biggest thing with him, and this was brought up in times we talked about him.
Yeah.
Turnovers.
Yep.
Are you worried about the turnovers that Ja Morant produces? Because
He's young
he's
and I
had
don't care.
games of 7, 10. He's the past 5 games.
Yeah.
He has been at 4-4, 3-3, 4-3.
Yeah,
So,
no. I go with he's young and I don't care about turnovers for kids under the age of like 23. Like honestly, like you're the Cleveland Cavaliers. You're not trying to win games right now anyway. But if you have someone with his potential who can do everything for you and who can be that true superstar at the NBA level, like I'm having a hard time keeping him down low on my rankings because like you said, RJ could be that next level point forward. He can be a guy who, whether he's a 2-guard or a 3-guard, Jimmy Butler-esque, style to him, hopefully with a better shot. But obviously, like you said, he's missed his last 10 3-pointers. It's rough that there's not consistency there, but I just think that Ja's got that it factor to him, and he also has that potential to just bust out like terribly. He could be the worst player drafted in the top 10.
The thing that I think of when it comes to Ja, because like in my head, I would do Cam, RJ, then either Bol or Ja, either or, and then Nasir Little. If they take Ja,
Yep.
in my head alone, and some people may think I'm wrong for saying this,
Yep.
I do not think him and Colin Sexton could coexist.
Yeah.
From what I've seen from Colin Sexton since his start of last year in college, I have seen a guy. I am the guy to bring the ball up. I am the guy to have the ball. The offense starts with me. And I don't know if adding Ja into that will be beneficial to either or, because I kind of see either or being similar players, being the main ball handler. And I would feel like if you're going to draft a Ja, that is Cleveland saying we messed up on the Colin Sexton pick, and then let's move Colin Sexton.
Do you think that there's a problem with that?
No, I'm just
because
saying,
if you believe that Ja has better upside than Colin Sexton, why wouldn't you do
I'm not
that?
saying Jerry Seinfeld. There's not anything wrong with that.
It could
but
end up
you'd
being
have
like
to move Colin Sexton.
Well, it could end up being like a Luka DSJ situation.
Exactly.
You didn't know you were ever going to be in the position to take Luka Doncic.
Right.
That's why you won't.
But like, would you be comfortable passing up that player because you're like, oh well, we've already got Colin Sexton, and that's my concern. Like, could you imagine if if the Mavs had not been so in love with Luka and been like, well, we got Dan Smith Jr. Like, I think we're good getting somebody else this year.
And I think one thing, it was a little bit easier because they don't play the same position. It's just they don't fit next to each other.
Technically, they don't, but they do have the same role as in primary ball handler, bring the ball up the court, and that's very much what Ricky spoke to, and that's why I think I'm like, it's just asinine to close off that option from yourself, because I think that potential-wise, we all fell in love with Colin Sexton for what he did at Alabama. The 3-on-5 game was him putting his name on the map, but at the NBA level, like, good player. He's getting better. His shot has become much more consistent. He's now getting closer to that you know, 40% range from three, which would be awesome. Obviously not shooting a ton of volume, under 3 attempts a game. But I still think that, like, what I see in Ja, his upside versus Colin Sexton's upside. Is there anybody who would take Colin Sexton's upside over Ja's?
I wouldn't.
So that sort of would be my thing.
Well, it's just because I don't know Ja's true upside. That's the thing is because
no one really does. I'm buying into the fact that, like,
that's my biggest concern.
Can he duplicate what he's doing in college?
And today, as in when we're recording this, he has his biggest game against Auburn.
Yeah, which would be great to
see.
So
it's starting at 3:30.
Yep.
Starting in right now, like
about a half hour.
Yeah, about a half
40 minutes.
So it's going to be interesting to see how he does. I worry about, again, how is he going to do against big time competition? And I can't say he's going to be better than Colin Sexton because Colin Sexton has proven that even at the NBA, he's putting up 15 a game, and he's doing it efficiently. So that's something to me that is very intriguing for Colin Sexton.
Whoop-de-doo about your 15 a game.
And here's...
In the NBA.
Whoop-de-doo about your 15 a game.
Well, and here's the me...
I'm serious. Like, from your star player, from your top 10 pick, and you're getting 15 a game.
It's a rookie.
Yeah, but they also
that's
have no
typically
other...
in line
the rest
with a
of their
rookie.
team is dead. They've got no... Who else is putting the ball in the bucket?
Would you rather him chucking up bad shots?
They had a trade for Alec Burks because they literally had nothing else.
Would you rather have him chucking up bad shots?
I'd rather have if you're going to be a ball-dominant player, I want more from you than 15 a game.
But the thing is that he's a rookie. It's his first year. I mean, I'm not too upset at him only averaging 15 a game on 41 shooting.
No, and 87 from the line, too. He's pretty
I mean,
efficient.
come on. I mean, that's a very good sign for a rookie.
No, it is. It is. But my point is still, I want more. And I think Jock could give me more. That's why I'm pressuring this so much, is because I think RJ Barrett is intriguing because ball in his hands, I think he's probably got probably right below Ja on the upside. Like, it's Zion, Ja, and then RJ in my mind as far as upside in this draft. I guess maybe Bol, just because I have no clue. But they're all very close.
Unicorn.
He's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
They're all very close. So, honestly, if I was them and I was the one, it's Zion. If it's the two, I'm probably going RJ. At the three, I'm going Ja, 100%. I think Cam is out of it in my mind because I see the same concerns that I've seen out of, like, Otto Porter. Like, that's unfortunately where I'm projecting him. And that's Otto's a fine player, like you said, but he's not the guy I want to take at three if I see other guys with more potential on the board.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm on the other side of it. I'm looking at RJ, Cam, and Ja. Those are the three that I'm looking at. And how I'm kind of divvying up in my head, I'm passing on Ja compared to these two because I already have Colin Sexton. I know the whole debate of, like, Ja's potential over Colin Sexton's potential. But the thing I look at is the type of position matters. And if I already have a point guard that, I mean, basically, if I draft a point guard and then go to trade Colin Sexton, is that going to set me back where I could take either RJ or Cam, have a wing player, and I still have Colin Sexton, who is not hot garbage? Because, I mean, looking to what Sean was saying about the 15, if you look back just at the last two drafts, the highest guards that were drafted, or three drafts, I should say, because I skipped the Lonzo draft, like De'Aaron Fox. Yeah. He was only putting up 11, just over 11 a game his first year.
Right.
And then
due to misuse.
Jamal Murray, who was the highest, I know he was a 1-2 listed in the draft. Mm-hmm. He was only putting up 9 a game in his first year. So, I mean.
But he also had a much smaller role on a much better team.
I get the situations are different.
I feel like Colin Sexton's in a Devin Booker situation. Mm-hmm. You're playing on a trash team. You need to put up stupid numbers. And his numbers are very good. Don't get me wrong. Like Sean said, 15, 3, and 3 on very good shooting splits.
And that's even better than Devin Booker. Devin Booker in his first year, 13.8, 2.6 assists, which is about the same. Colin Sexton at 2.5. Sexton has more rebounds. Doesn't really matter. But shooting-wise, he's better. Devin Booker's at 42. Colin Sexton at 43. And 3-point. Devin Booker was a better 3-point shooter. He was taking 3.8, so it's more threes. But 34% where Colin Sexton's sitting at 39.7.
But he also didn't start all the games. He didn't even play the full season. Like, again, I know it's sample size to sample size. Like, that's the thing. We're only in December right now.
Real quick, usage for Dev Book, because I think that does matter in this argument. 23, his rookie year, and then Colin Sexton, I'll find out. But what were you finish your
Well, the thing I was just going to finish with my kind of thought process. Then when it comes to Cam and RJ, the reason why I would go Cam is, yes, RJ has the higher usage. RJ is going to have the more points per game. But what I see from Cam Reddish is a guy who, from the outside, I would take Cam's 3-point shot over RJ's 3-point shot.
Yeah.
And then
You're gonna be alone.
also, defensively, I like what Cam Reddish brings more than RJ. Because if I'm the Cavs right now, I'm thinking K-Love is still on my team. And with me, when it comes to defense, RJ is going to be the guy that blocks more shots than Cam, but Cam is going to be the guy that gets more steals and I can kind of mold him into that wing defender on the outside, and that's what I would want more working next to Colin Sexton than going with the potential of Ja or going with the high usage big name in RJ Barrett.
With the thing with Colin Sexton, he had 25 usage compared to 23. If I was ranking them, I would say RJ, I would say Cam, I would say Bol, I would say Ja, and then I would say Nasir Little. We're all pretty low on Nasir Little. I don't even know I threw him in there. But Bol would be interesting, but I don't think it's going to end up being the right fit because you have more talented players. John Morant, I just need to see more from him. And if I do see more from him, I think he'll jump Cam. But RJ, I still think is the most talented out of the three of them. I think he's going to have the longest career out of these players if we're going to have that argument. I think he has the ability to be a star. I think Ja does as well. Cam, I think he's going to be a really good starter. And maybe he does, that ends up leading to longevity for him. But I think at their peak, RJ will be the best player. And I think, like we've said before, if you're in this position, go with the best player. And that's RJ Barrett in my mind. But let's just talk outside of RJ, I guess. I mean, do we see them not being a top 5 team? Do we see them somehow slipping?
Anything could,
the lottery numbers.
Well, what could happen is, I mean, the thing that changes is, so right now, the Hawks are at 4, the Knicks are at 5. They're about, a game and a half behind the Cavaliers, who are at 1 as we're recording this. So it's like, to me, it only looks like...
with the Bulls.
Yeah, it looks like to me, let's say they do fall to where the Knicks are right now. That means if somebody gets into the top 3 that's not, you're moving to 6 then at the lowest. And one guy I would throw in, if they're, let's say, at that 5-6, they're out of the Duke guys, they're out of maybe a Ja, I would maybe take a look at Kevin Porter Jr. being a guy that can fit with this Cavs team. If they do get like the 5th or 6th, even if they, let's say, start winning some games and get the 7th, that's as high as I think, or as low as I think that they could get. They'll probably be 5-6 at the lowest if they win some games. But
why does Kevin Porter fit with him?
Because the thing I look at is, what was one of the reasons we called him, like, his potential was James Harden-esque. And to me, could be a guy, I stick at the 2, can have some point guard tendencies, so when Colin Sexton's on the floor, he can move over to the 1, and could be a guy that fits nicely next to a ball-dominant Colin Sexton, because it's like, oh, Porter Jr. can be ball-dominant, but doesn't have to be ball-dominant to be effective on the floor. That's if Ja's already gone and the Dukies are already gone.
I think a guy that's going to rise that I think could be, I think I'm going to end up liking him more than Kevin Porter, is Jarrett Culver from Texas Tech. What he did against Duke was fun.
Yep.
The game before against Abilene Christian, it was fun. Kick and shoot from the outside, shooting 45% from 3. Had against Duke 4 of 9 from 3. He can pass the ball. He's got 48 assists on the year. He's consistently he's no higher than 6, but no lower than 2. But outside of that, he's been around 4. What's up, Jip?
He was going to say it. I think he was going to say it.
Yeah.
We Agree podcast.
Sean, We Agree podcast. You're reading my mind.
I mean,
here.
he just seems like a really good fit next to Colin Sexton.
Just so they know, in our last mock draft, you had him at 15, I had him at 17, Dave had him the lowest at 20. We'll see how that changes in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it was, like you said, it was the big test against really Duke, was to see what he could do against top-level talent, and obviously Texas Tech being the toughest defensive team in the nation at the time really put it to Duke. Obviously, still, Zion happens, and he gets the line shot well. But Jarrett, awesome game all around. I actually kind of like the Kevin Porter fit. I'm with Ricky on this one. I don't know that Kevin Porter will be that high, though. My question is, I don't know if his draft stock will stay that elevated throughout the whole year. Obviously, USC will get a lot of attention, but he's one of those guys I could see falling off as the year continues. Yeah, that's the problem. I don't love Nasir. I don't love Romeo. So I'm in a rough position because I don't think Bol would be a good fit for their team either, unless they're moving Kevin Love.
Unless they do your trade.
If they move Kevin Love, take Bol. That would be that's my advice.
Why Bol?
He's a unicorn. Like he's a 7+ footer who is got a great soft touch. His shooting, I've just been impressed. Honestly, the more game tape I see, the more impressed I am by him. But I still don't know against full-size men in the NBA. And I know the NBA is getting smaller, except a couple teams who are going double centers, whatever. But, like, I just think that he's just such a weird combination of size and athleticism and his shooting touch that makes him unique. And I think I would love to have him out there on the court for me. I just don't know what pieces I would need next to him to make up for him.
Why wouldn't he work next to Kevin Love, in your mind?
So are you saying he would play center?
Well, you said if Kevin Love got traded, then you take Bobo. So why would you say Kevin Love's there?
I think he's an NBA 4. I think he falls in line with KP as far as being the NBA 4, not a 5, because he doesn't have the muscle mass to play a 5 in the NBA and bang down low too much. So I see him at the 4. I think that TT is actually not a bad fit with him. Yes, TT's undersized, but you have some rim protection because of Bobo's length. So like I think the combination of TT's aggressiveness down in the low post matches well with Bobo. I just think that Kevin Love would be better served on another team. You can get value back for him. He's on that long-term deal, like we said. Shop him to a smaller market area, or maybe someone just looking for a shot to help them get into the playoffs and go for a run. Like I think that's the one unique one where I think Bobo could rise because it's so weird.
Maybe it's me.
Yeah.
But I think it's very weird thinking of a 7'3" player as a better perimeter defender than a post defender. Because you look at him, and he's pretty active. He's got quick feet on the outside, and he's got length that's going to be able to shut down guys driving.
Yeah.
But if you put him in the post, I think he's going to get bullied. Yeah. And we're talking about a 7'3" kid with a wingspan most likely at 7'9". Yeah. I think I find it odd that he's most likely going to be a better perimeter defender than a post defender. But I agree with you. I just worry about Bobo in general, and I think that whoever takes him is taking a risk.
Yeah.
And obviously we see with KP, like, when he's out there, he's dominant. I think he can be dominant sometimes, but I worry a lot about his ability to stay healthy, his ability to add on muscle, his ability to be a player that's not abused because of his size.
But, I mean, when he's stroking from the outside, like, you're just like, holy shit. Like, the angle of his shot should not work on some of that. But no, he's one of the most intriguing prospects of the draft for me, because it's just like, the more I watch, the more interested I am. But it doesn't necessarily change my mind about how he fits in the NBA yet, because he's not playing against guys who are, in their prime, 25 to 35 and like brick shithouse built. Like there's still some of those guys in the NBA, not a ton, but like, could you imagine him going up against like Joel Embiid or Anthony Davis, any top center in the league? Like right now, the only one I wouldn't be afraid of is obviously like
Put Drummond against him. Like Drummond would bully the shit out of him.
I know.
Or Jokic.
Jokic
against
versus him would
Bobo, insane. It'd be the complete opposite.
Jokic would be skyhooking him. Man.
Yeah.
That'd be the combination. Like, can you outreach the skyhook?
Physically gifted versus big boy. Like, opposite. All right, final thoughts on any sleepers, any guys we didn't talk about?
No, for me, I think that all the ones, it's basically, depending on where they are, my order again would be Cam, RJ. I want to put Ja ahead of Ball.
Zion and then.
Well, yeah, we're talking Zion is a definite one, but Cam, RJ, Ja, Ball, and then I'm gonna put Kevin Porter as my last one.
Dave,
I'm sticking with mine. What's up?
You don't have to give me your rankings.
Yeah, no, I'm sticking with mine. I think that obviously Zion first, but then I think RJ and Ja's a very close conversation to have, and then I look at Bol. Kevin Porter could be interesting, but we need to see more out of him.
Yeah, I just need to see. I don't think I'll ever see enough out of him when it comes to the draft.
A top 5 pick.
Like he'll be. Well, my thing is, I think I will base my placing of Bobo on what scouts are saying that NBA draft like GMs are saying.
Yeah,
because I want to be right, 100%. Of course. But also,
it's the Sean Anderson way.
I don't trust him, and I won't trust him until I see him in the NBA up against NBA level competition.
That's right.
But yeah, I think Zion's the number one pick, obviously, and then it falls with talent, and it'd be RJ. I think it'd be Ja. I think it'd be Cam. I think it'd be Bobo.
It's funny how one-sided this year's draft is again. It's like we had the Ben Simmons draft where we try to create controversy around like Brandon Ingram, and we're like, nah, never close. Yeah,
and we were like, coming into this, we were like, oh, great, we had Lonzo versus Markelle.
Yeah.
We had what was it last year? It was
DeAndre versus
Ayton versus Luka.
Yep.
Yeah, or Ayton Bagley or Michael Porter Jr. as well. Porter Jr. versus Doncic. And now
This
we
is
have,
just stupid.
We're trying to have the 3 Dookies, and we're not going to get that video up. But anyways, that's going to do it for the Fast Break podcast. We do want to extend our gracious happy holidays. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate it. I know it will be something that we all celebrate, as that's something that our families do. So happy Merry Christmas to you guys. Merry Christmas to everyone who celebrates. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. We will be having one final 2018 podcast, recording that on the 29th, the night of UFC 232. So I will be in some chipper spirits for John Jones versus Alex Augustin 2. I fucked that. I tried to go super.
You goofed it.
I tried to go super Sweden on that one. But anyways, that's gonna do it for us. Thank you so much for listening. 2018 was our best year, and hopefully 2019 will bring more. But again, we have one final podcast. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like us. Not like us. Like us on Facebook. Fuck it. Let's get the Facebook page going.
Yeah.
Rate us 5 stars on iTunes if you do have the time. Head over to iTunes. If you gave us a download, give us 5 stars on iTunes. It helps us out immensely, much more than a Facebook like. Anyways, that's going to do it for Dave Oster, Ricky Widmer. I'm Sean Anderson. Have a great day.